Hi there. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you a couple of troubleshooting steps you can take on your 4K pinball computer. Now, I know this is not inside of a system right now, but for the purposes right here, I'm just going to just sort of walk you through how to, how you would remove it from the system, of course. Now, over here on the back, you'll see here are all the connections that you'll have inside of your machine. Here's your video card where all the video plugs are going to go, your audio cables, and the USB cords. Now, before we do anything, I just want you to go ahead and take a picture of everything connected on the back of your computer, so that way you'll know in which order these go in, your display ports and the one HDMI right there. And then also you'll have these three jacks being used as well. They're all going to be numbered, so I believe this one's going to be like 1, 2, and 3 or something like that. So just make sure you know which number goes into which. These are going to be your sound effects, and this is going to be your main sound right there. So you want to know that the correct amplifier is going into the correct jack. All right, and then the USBs can go anywhere over here. But yeah, so once you have a picture taken of that, you know which order things go in. We're going to start disconnecting them one by one. These are going to have little connectors that pinch down to remove. Don't just try pulling it out and expect it to come out. You're going to have to go here and just pinch them off. And then same thing with this one, and then these two can just be pulled out. These are the only two that are going to have sort of a clips on there, keeping them in there. All right, so we're going to disconnect that, disconnect everything else. Once you have everything disconnected, especially this right here, this is going to be where the power button is connected to. It's gonna look like this. And so now in order to remove the whole computer from the system, we just want to remove the screws that would be over here on this side. You have one near towards the power supply right over here. That's just going to be a Phillips head wood screw. And then on the other side, it's going to be a little bit more inside over here towards the front. This is also going to be a Phillips head screw. So you'll just use a screwdriver. Once you remove that screw and this screw from the back, you should be able to then just pick up and remove the whole computer from the system. All right, and one important thing we want to see is you should still be able to connect this with a power cord. So the same sort of power cord that you would use to connect the machine, you can use to test. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect that right here. And one thing that I want you to take a look at, I'm going to go ahead and rest it on its side, is I want you to just check if these fans are coming on. So I'm going to show you how to turn the computer on. So if you're going to see, you'll see this little dongle over here. It's got a bunch of different wires, colored wires going into it. You want to find the yellow and the orange pin. So it's going to be those two on the top right. All right, because we see the colors going in there. You just want to touch them with a screwdriver or something like that. So if you see right here, I'm just going to touch these. Hang on, real quick. There we go. That's going to turn on. You're going to see that's going to start spinning. And I want you to notice if these are spinning. If these are not spinning, then that's going to cause overheating in the system itself. So if your computer is crashing, and that's why we're taking it out in order to inspect it, then this might be the reason why it might be crashing. If these two fans are not running and everything else is turning on like this, you can see the light up, you can see that fan spinning, then that would be a concern that you would then contact us for. But if this turns on, everything is spinning, everything's all good, then that checks out. We can just go ahead and over here, flip the switch, and that's going to turn off the system. All right. Now, if your computer is crashing and the fans are spinning and everything looks good on there, then what we want to do is that we just want to relocate this RAM stick over here to another slot. And another thing that's also worth trying is also just removing this and then reinstalling it again. Now, on yours, you're most likely going to have this long metallic pole that's coming, that's attaching this to the case. That's pretty straightforward to remove. you'll just have a screw on the top right here, just like this. You'll just want to remove that screw. And then over here on the bottom, you'll have a threaded nut go into the pull. So you would just twist the pull until that nut came off. And just make sure you don't drop it in, lose it inside of the motherboard. But once you remove that pull, you just pinch this little connector right here, put it off to the side, make sure you know exactly where it is. Just gonna tug on that a little bit. It's gonna break off into two pieces, but it goes together pretty easily. It's got a little lip right there where it'll clip into. So if you see that right there, it basically just pushes down, and it will look like that once you put it back in. So I'm just gonna put this over here on the corner. We know exactly where it is. Once we remove the GPU and put it back in, you'll just grab this over here and connect it back again. That won't be a problem. And then you just need to remove this one screw over here. That's what's holding it into the case, making sure it doesn't move up and down. As you can see, try to move it, it's not gonna move a lot. So we just want to remove this screw right here. And this is actually going to make getting to the RAM a little bit easier, since we'll be removing this right here, so that way we can get into that clip. All right, so once you have that removed and you have the wires going out of this, let me move this out of the way. We're just going to get our finger down over here and press down on this little plastic piece right there. I'm going to point to it right there. You want to press down on it, and that's going to release right there. You'll see that little plastic bit, and I'll show you as I'm taking it out. It's going to be holding on to that little part right there, that little clip. So you want to push down on it, otherwise you run the risk of damaging this little piece right here. But let me go ahead and zoom that out. All right, so this is going to be the piece right here. This is your graphics card. This is what's transferring the video from the computer to the screens and everything. So we're just going to put this off to the side, and I'll show you how to put that back in as well. Yeah, but we want to take a look at this RAM card right here. We want to try to remove it from this slot. Now over here, you'll notice that there's a couple of hot glue parts on here. That's just so that way the RAM doesn't come out on you while it's in transit or anything like that. But it is just hot glue. So let's see if we can try to pry this away. Just gonna push down on here. Okay, so far. There we go. Yeah, so as you can see, it's just molded around. It's not really adhered to it, so should be able to just remove that away enough. Right there, you might want to use just something to just pry it off a little bit. But once you have one clip undone, you should be able to just remove this from one side and it'll come completely out. All right, now if you have a can of compressed air, I would go ahead and see if you can hit these slots a little bit with some compressed air. Maybe hit the edge of this with a microfiber cloth, just to sort of get any sort of residue off on it. But what we can do is we can relocate this to another slot. I'm just gonna open up the clips right over here. And you just wanna line it up to where it'll go in. All right, that's not the right way. Over here, you wanna make sure this little slot lines up right there, and we're just going to go ahead and line this up. There we go, it slides right in, and then we want to push down, and you can hear those clicks. All right, and you even saw right over here, this went in and that went in right in there. So we just want to make sure everything is nice and snug, everything clicks into place. So we want to move this RAM card over to this slot right here, make sure it has a good connection. All right, now that that's good, we want to go ahead and reinsert our graphics card. And this is we want to make sure all the connections are over there are going to be over here on the slots where they go in on the case. And then this little piece is going to go in on the side of the motherboard right over there. It's just going to slide right in. And then just similar to the RAM, this will also click into place right over here. As you can see, that little plastic piece closed in on itself. I'll show you one more time. So once you push in all the way, that's gonna lock into place. All right, so this graphics card is fully in place. All right, so now you just want to put in your screw back in over here. That'll secure that in place. There we go. Go ahead and tighten that up. Just like that. All right, now we're almost there. We just have to connect the power that goes into the graphics card. All right, like I said before, we just want to line that up just like that. And because this clip is on this side, we'll see that this little edge is right there. So we just want to put that in all the way. There we go. We have everything pretty much into place now. All right, we know that the GPU is locked in. We have our RAM moved over to one side. And now we can go ahead and give it a try. I'm gonna flip the switch over here. That'll allow me to turn the computer on. All right, and just like before, I'm gonna be touching the yellow and orange wires. That's gonna turn everything on. As you can see, we got the fan spinning on the graphics card. That means it's actively cooling, and we have power going to it. So now the computer is ready to be put back into the system, into the pinball machine, and yeah, contact us if there's any more issues furthering. This is just basic troubleshooting, making sure that things are inserted all the way. You know, the pins over there are fully sealed, or fully seated, I should say. And this will basically help us determine whether or not you have any faulty components or not. If anything is not working, then this should tell us. All right, thank you and have a good day.